What's going on, everybody? Today we are here to talk about um, cluster B personality disorders um, and what they are. They are called the dramatic, erratic, and irrational personality disorders. The first one I'm going to start with is what I think is the most dangerous one and the most dramatic one, of course, without a doubt. Um, Most would say antisocial personality disorder is, though in my belief, I disagree with that. Um, it's just I don't. I mean, I know antisocial is dangerous. Don't get me wrong, but um, narcissistic personality disorder definitely ranks number one. Um, so talk about the symptoms here first, and uh, symptoms include grandiosity. They're very callous, and they have unemotional traits. I mean, they just really don't have no emotions at all. They can't feel remorse. They can't. They lack remorse. They have no feelings. They for others. Um, Pretty much self-centered. Um, they do have disregard for others, like I said. Feelings and excessive need for admiration and social isolation. They'll do that at times. That's when they usually go over to the vulnerable side, which is the depressive side. But they can still be dangerous then, but not quite as dangerous. I don't think, in my personal experience, as the grandiose side. The grandiose side is really, really torturous. I know that because unfortunately I have a narcissistic personality disorder dad, very grandiose, very bossy, very it's got to be done my way or no way. Um, you're never going to amount to nothing. You'll always be nothing, and that's just how they degrade you. They just they rip you apart. I mean, they rip your heart out, and they can get it can get so bad that it can actually cause physical problems. Um, Potentially even lifelong physical problems, complications. Um, like I said, I mean they also have irresponsibility too. Um, they have trouble friendships. Um, they have a lot of pardon me, they have a lot of criticism in them that they cannot stand criticism under any circumstances. Not toward them. It has to be viewed from them. Um, and narcissistic personality disorder can go in many ways. I mean, it can. When you have the personality disorder, you also are at higher risk for the dark triad, the dark tetrad, which is the dark triad is if you haven't heard of it before, I'll introduce it to you right now. It is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Okay, then you have the dark tetrad, and this is narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and sadism. Now, it's because you have narcissistic personality disorder does not mean you have either the other two. Um, they're really not. The dark tetrad and the dark triad is really not in the diagnostic and statistical manual, not that I know of. Um, Narcissistic personality disorder is. But just because it's not in the diagnostic and statistical manual does not mean it doesn't exist. Okay, so that's narcissistic personality disorder. Like I said, it's a mental condition and in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance and a deep need for excessive uh, attention and admiration by others. And if they don't get it, they don't like it. Believe me. Trouble relationships and a lack of empathy for others, sympathy too, um, and remorse. When they do something that is against the laws of social norms, it doesn't bother them. And this is when we talk about the comorbidity of narcissistic personality disorder and social personality disorder. They both lack empathy. They both lack empathy. They both don't have sympathy. They don't have remorse for what they do. They can't feel for what they do is wrong. Um, they have troubled relationships, both of them. They have excessive. Someone with antisocial personality disorder has to be the center of attention. Same can be said for narcissistic personality disorder and another cluster B personality disorder, which would be histrionic personality disorder. They all three kind of have in that category, have to be an excessive need for the center of attention, um, especially narcissists or NPD. Um, but antisocial personality disorder to me ranks number 2 in the dramatic, erratic, and irrational and irresponsibility cluster B personality disorder. Number 2 is antisocial. So, in my opinion, so people that's got antisocial personality disorder, um, it's definitely hard on them, but it's because they can't really understand, the ability to understand what they're doing is wrong. Narcissists, on the other hand, they know what they're doing is wrong, but they just don't care. In order to be diagnosed, and there's 7 criteria that you have to meet to make the diagnosis of. There's 7 criteria for the diagnosis of antisocial. I think there's only 3 you have to meet, maybe 4. Number 1 is failure to obey laws and norms by engaging in behavior which results in criminal arrest or would warrant a criminal arrest. Um, Number 2 is lying, deception, and manipulation for profit or self-amusement. Number 3 is impulsive behavior. Number 4 is irritability and aggression manifested as frequently they assault others or engage in fighting. Definitely. Number 5, they disregard the safety of their own self or others. They don't care whether they get killed or whether they kill someone else. They don't have no sympathy for themselves. 6, a pattern of irresponsibility. 7, lack of remorse for actions. Yep. Number 2, I want to point out here. Now, this could possibly be a trait of all 4 personality disorders, which is lying, deception, manipulation for profit or self-amusement. You could say that. Impulsive behavior for all 4 as well. That's where they all 4 overlap, I think. Irritability and aggression. There's a lot of overlap here between them and between antisocial personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. But also narcissistic personality disorder. They you disregard the safety and self of others, that's definitely comorbid with narcissistic personality disorder. A pattern of irresponsibility. Based on what I've seen, this is comorbid with three personality disorders in cluster B, which is borderline, narcissistic, and antisocial personality disorder. A pattern of irresponsibility, meaning, like spending, doing things you shouldn't be doing. And then here comes the lack of remorse for actions. The difference is here, people with antisocial personality disorder really don't care whether, I mean, they have no remorse for actions for themselves, for others. Narcissists, on the other hand, they don't have no remorse for the other people, but they want to drag it out. They want to make your life miserable, a living nightmare, so bad that you're affected for the rest of your life. Whereas people with ASPD, they just they don't have it. I mean, in other words, they don't tolerate nothing. Believe me. Um, Narcissists will manipulate you, tear you down, like I said. One thing you won't do with someone with antisocial personality disorder, you won't manipulate them and you won't tear them down. So to anyone that's possibly in a relationship that's with narcissists and antisocial personality disorder, oh man. uh, I would think in the short term, the person with ASPD will win. In the long term, if it goes long term, NPD always wins. But if it's short term, ASPD always wins. So, um, now we've covered both of those. We'll take on the last two real quick. Um, this is the now I'm going to talk about the criteria for borderline personality disorder. And the criteria for borderline personality disorder. Uh, Number one is frantic efforts to avoid abandonment. Um, People with borderline don't like to be alone. Um, that's kind of comorbid with some of the cluster A personality disorders. A little bit of overlap there. Um, Number two, well, let's finish number one. Frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. Doesn't include suicide or self-manipulating behavior covered in the criteria. But they do. If someone threatens to leave them, they could threaten suicide and stuff like that. There, absolutely. Number two is a pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterized by um, alternating between extremes of idolization and evaluation. And I'll get to that in a moment. Number three is identity disturbance. Markedly, persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. Okay? Number four is impulsivity in at least two areas that are potentially self-damaging: spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. Um, this doesn't this don't include suicidal self mutilation behavior either. So Number 5, recurrent suicidal behavior, gestures or threats, or self-mutilating behavior. This is common in borderline personality. Number 6, affective instability due to a marked reactivity of mood, such as intense episodic dysphoria, irritability, or anxiety, usually lasting for a few hours. It can last up to a few days. 7, chronic feelings of emptiness. Now, this is something that is very common in people with BPD. Number 8 is inappropriate, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger and frequent displays of temper, constant anger, recurrent physical fights. Number 9, transit stress-related paranoid ideations or severe dissociation. All right, now let's go back to number 2. The idealization. Okay, that's part of borderline personality. The evaluation is as well. But let me tell you the difference between BPD devaluation and NPD devaluation. BPD devaluation, like, may call you names and stuff like that there, but it does stop. They don't constantly do it. NPD, on the other hand, it's constant, nonstop, calling you names, degrading you, telling you you're a worthless piece of you know what. You'll never amount to anything. Uh, you might as well die. They'll tell you that too. I wish I never had you. They'll tell you that as well. And it's constant, nonstop with NPD. Definite, nonstop. As with BPD, they don't usually tell you harsh things like NPD does in the devaluation cycle. That's the difference between that devaluation cycle with BPD and NPD. Impulsivity. Here we see where BPD and NPD comorbid with each other with spending, substance abuse, reckless driving. NPD are not well known for having like sex, but they do. They pay. You know what I'm saying? So, and they do have irresponsibility. This is where they come over with borderline at. Spending, sex, substance abuse, and I would say the reckless driving is way more on the NPD side than the BPD side, from my experience. Um, Recurrent suicidal behavior. This could happen with the vulnerable narcissist. Like I said, when you got narcissistic personality disorder, you're going to float back and forth between grandiose and vulnerable. So there is a sense of possible suicidal behavior. Um, Now, someone with when a narcissist goes over to vulnerable narcissism, they can have some chronic feelings of emptiness. I can see that. Also, intense anger with narcissists. They always have intense anger. It's to me, it's 24/7. I mean, that was just my experience. So, I mean, that's just how it is with that. But that was BPD, borderline part. Now we're going to do the last one, and that's it. This is going to be histrionic, which is not as known in the cluster B. Personality disorder. Um, but it is there, and a lot of it people get think it's about the same thing as borderline, and it could be. In the next DSM-5, it might be. There might be only 3 cluster B personality disorders, or there could be 4 still. And I'll tell you the other personality disorder that may replace histrionic personality disorder is a possibility. Now, I don't know. And that is dependent personality disorder. Okay, symptoms of histrionic personality disorder include the following: shallow, changeable emotions. Number 1. Number 2, assumed intimacy with others. Number 3, hypersensitivity to criticism. Number 4, manipulative behavior. Number 5, disappropriate emotional reactions. Number 6, sexually provocative behavior. Number 7, a compulsive desire for attention. Number 8, preoccupation with appearance. Number 9, suggestible and easily influenced. Histrionic personality disorder. You can tell when someone has shallow emotions, when they're very shallow towards you. It's not very hard to tell. They, just like narcissists, kind of like to intimidate you a little bit. And also, just like a person with NPD, they are very hypersensitive to criticism. Okay, so unlike BPD, first of all, I have BPD, so we can take on criticism and we respond to it as well. Manipulative behavior can happen in all 4 cluster B personality disorders. Disappropriate emotional reactions. This is definitely comorbid with all 4 personality disorders in the cluster B. Sexually provocative behavior. Tend to see this more with borderline, but we can also see this for money in narcissistic personality disorder. And I think that narcissistic personality disorder and histrionic, this is where the narcissist pays the histrionic to have, what with. So that's what I'm doing there. Compulsive desire for attention. Both of them have that. Histrionic and narcissistic personality disorder. Preoccupation with appearance. You gotta look good. They are suggestible, and they're also easily influenced. Now, borderlines is also easily influenced too. Narcissists, you're not going to influence them on nothing. They're going to influence you or do their best. You're not going to tell them anything. You just will not tell someone with NPD anything. You'll not try to influence them on nothing. They're going to be the leader. And that's why I say that out of the 4 cluster B personality disorders, narcissistic personality disorder is number 1. Followed by number 2. And then number 3, borderline personality disorder. And number 4, histrionic personality disorder. May have to switch histrionic with borderline. That's number 3 because it seems to be more of the narcissistic side, and borderline does. I'll switch that up. I'll say narcissistic number one, NPD number one, antisocial personality disorder number two, histrionic personality disorder number three, and borderline number four. But that's my thoughts. Hope you guys like my video. I will try to do better content on each video. And also these personality disorders have some traits of cluster A's and cluster C's of the personality disorder. So in my next video, I'm just going to name all 10 personality disorders in cluster A, cluster B, and cluster C. And hopefully I'll get this done tonight. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, I will be back with another one, hopefully. And being the coronavirus, I don't have it being, it doesn't kill me. And the coronavirus is something else that I want to talk about too, in one of my videos, and how it seems like the media is trying to force a cluster C personality disorder on everybody, which we'll talk about later on in another video. Thank you for my views on this. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I will be back with more content later on. Thank you and have a good day. And stay safe, stay clear from the coronavirus. Thanks, guys. Take care.